All right, peasants. A lot. We got 7 people already in here. CEO. You know what I'm saying? They definitely want to get our output about these Western Conference Finals. CEO, say what's up to the peasants.
What's good, peasants?
You know what I'm saying? We have Daniel. What's up, Daniel? What's up, random editor? What's up? You got to change your name, bro. I mean, shit. RJ
Maybe.
CEO needs to live stream on Patreon. Kick YouTube censorships out of line. Yeah, because he said he asked me if I was blocking his comments. I'm like, bro, this is the first time I've been in here. I'm like, I'm not blocking shit. We have we have fellow Knicks fan Jordan Francis. Jordan, what's up? Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day so far. So enjoy to see the Thunder lose in the playoffs. We're gonna try to compare that bum to Curry. Curry's MVP. You're a clown. Trust me, I think he'll be in here, bro. I think he'll be in here, CEO. What do you think? You think he'll be in here, CEO?
Yeah, he'll eventually pop up.
You know what I'm saying? Speaking of that, what the fuck is going? Whatever. Speaking of that, CEO. Well, let's talk about a CEO. The Spurs defeat OKC in 7, which I predicted. Wembyamba, they did it, CEO. Your thoughts on that? Your thoughts on the whole series?
It was a good series. It was well thought out.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a good series. I mean, I don't think anyone could argue with that point. The Spurs just had more. They wanted it more, and they got it done at the end. But overall, it was close, and that's all you could ask for as a NBA fan, I guess you could say that, or an NBA watcher. So it was a good series. I don't think anyone that says it's trash or whatever the shit just doesn't like basketball. So
I
it
agree.
was good.
Me and Brandon had this debate. He said he thinks I think he said Cavs and Pistons. He thinks Pistons Orlando was better. I disagree. I think this was the best series throughout the whole playoffs.
Oh, this was definitely the best series. He said Cavs and what?
Cavs and Pistons, Pistons and Orlando. Celtics and Sixers was pretty interesting because I honestly thought you guys were gonna win that. But I mean, I think me personally, this was the best.
Not, not putting this at least in the top two is blasphemy. This was, this is you're talking about two of the best teams in the conference, in the Western Conference, and it was just good, bro. Like the rivalry, the hate that they have towards each other, just the storylines. It was good, bro. I don't know why it was exactly what everyone said it was going to go to 7, and it went to 7. So that's all you could ask for.
With that being said, CEO, OKC, man,
All right.
SGA, the Canadian wonder, the quote unquote the aura CEO,
Yeah.
play like a bum throughout this whole series. CEO, game 6, right?
Yeah.
I understand it's in San Antonio, I get it, but 15 points, CEO, 15 points. This last game, I mean, CEO, you can look at the raw stats, 31 points, whatever, CEO. At the end of the day, CEO, at least 5 turnovers, disappeared in the fourth quarter. SGA will never be a top 25 player in NBA history. And I'm gonna keep real with you, CEO. There's no dynasty. This is over for OKC. They are the Denver Nuggets 2.0. They'll go to the second round and lose every year. Your thoughts?
All right. First, let's not disrespect the Thunder to this degree. Is my first.
Bums, frauds, CEO.
Well, no, I wouldn't call them bums, and I wouldn't call them frauds. Now, the reason I say this is because you have to respect what they've done, and they gave us a good series. It was a well thought out battle, but at the same time, people need to understand what Wemby is in terms of like his greatness, right? What he will be, hopefully, if he doesn't get injured or anything catastrophic happens or whatever the fuck. But if they have to respect the Spurs. And first of all, the Spurs organization as an organization is very well run. People should know this, like the history of the Spurs. Everyone should know Tim Duncan, Dave Robinson, Popovich. It's a very well run organization. You can't really say the same for the OKC Thunder throughout its organization, throughout its lifespan, but not in comparison to the Spurs. So, from an organizational level, even though I think Sam Presti's probably the best GM in the league, but from an organizational level, the Spurs are just really good. They're kind of like they're the Patriots, kind of similar to the Patriots, but without all the cheating, right? So, they're very well run, very serious organization. So, I give props to them. So I don't want to minimize their win over the OKC Thunder because the OKC Thunder are a championship level team. When it comes to SGA and all this, he had moments in the series where he flashed some brilliance. He looked really good in a couple of games. In the last game, he was doing pretty well. And I believe I forgot if it was game 4 or 3 or whatever the fuck, but he had flashes of brilliance throughout the series. Game one was a letdown because that's when you got a lot of the role players like Alex Caruso, Cason Wallace. A lot of these role players were doing very good, and I believe that game one he let his team down in that specific instance because your role players were just shooting on all cylinders, and he just didn't get to do enough. So I don't think SGA is a fraud in the sense that like, oh, he stinks or he's a bum. He's not. Uh, he I think that we all know that Wemby's better, and I've said this going into the series that the Spurs have the best player probably on the planet. Uh, Probably the reason I say probably is you can't crown him just yet, but probably on the planet, and I think that factors into it. So SGA getting locked down on occasion made a lot of sense. This is a very good defensive team. Both teams are good defensively, but one team has a freak show and the other doesn't. SGA is and when it comes to his mid range game, he's one of the best I've seen probably ever. And when he's on point with his mid range game, you really can't uh, talk shit about him because he looks fantastic during some of the mid range games. And I think that's the part of his game that people love about SGA, not all the flopping and shit like that. But what I have to say about that, all that is, I think the number one culprit in this whole series, RJ, more than SGA, although you could say that SGA didn't during certain games didn't play the way he should have. I completely agree with that, but I think the number one culprit in this whole series is Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren is fucking horrible. He's trash. Uh, yeah, I like Chet Holmgren is what I think. I think if you want to point out somebody specifically, it's Chet Holmgren. He did nothing, absolutely nothing. The guy played scared the whole series. He looked like a bitch the whole series. Did not contribute whatsoever. You could probably say that about him and Lou Dort. So
CEO, you might be correct. Chet, we'll get to Chet Holmgren in a minute. He's a fucking. We're definitely gonna get to Chet Holmgren. But CEO, no, I'm not gonna give that. You know why, CEOs? Because if SGA would have won that game, even without playing well, they would have gave him all the praise. And CEO, just a week ago, people were comparing this guy to Kobe, Jordan, all this other crap. No, I didn't see that. And this is a big loss, CEO. You know why? There's no excuses. CEO, on every single level, including the coach, OKC had the advantage and home court. You lost to an inexperienced team. And CEO, the Spurs didn't win that game. OKC lost that game. CEO, I know you know the stats. Stephon Castle's been averaging, he's averaged the most turnovers in any out of every player in the playoffs. He's averaging more turnovers than James Harden, who we know is a choker. And you still lost that, CEO. And also, CEO, I also have to bring this up as well, too. CEO. Without the free throws, CEO. So SGA is averaging 28 points without free throws. And, no, altogether. Jalen Brunson's averaging 26 points in these playoffs altogether. You take away the free throws, Jalen Brunson's averaging 21 points to SGA's 18 points. Notice, CEO, which I called out months ago, when the referees swallowed their whistle and they called it even game, people are going to say the Spurs got more free throws and stuff, which is true, but they weren't out there flopping. They were out there playing ball. OKC, specifically SGA, did not look good. Absolutely not. And we can sit here and we're gonna get to Chet in a minute. We're gonna get to Jerry McCain and Caruso. We're gonna get to all of them. But at the end of the day, CEO, SGA, the best player on your team, always dictates how your team is going to play. When SGA is going off, Chet's going off, Jalen Williams going off, Mitchell's going off, all the other players are going off. But when they're not going off, 9 times out of 10, the team's going to fall down. That's what SGA's been throughout his whole career, without the exception of last year. And CEO, let's have a deep conversation about this. Oh, I'm not going to sit here and knock their ring. I'm not going to sit here and knock whatever. He won into he got 2 MVPs. He got the trophy. We can sit here to the moon, CEO, and talk about what he's done. But 20 years from now, no one's going to look at that. CEO, I want to talk to you, right? Last year, they beat the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis fucking Grizzlies led by Ja Morant. And I think Ja got injured in like game 3. They beat the Denver Nuggets, which people are going to say that's impressive. But CEO, the Denver Nuggets have never, even in Nikola Jokic's best years, beat a team with 50 plus wins or more in the regular season. And Joker, we're having conversations about his legacy. Then they beat in the conference championship Anthony Edwards, along with Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert. We see how those guys play in the playoffs. This year, CEO swept the Phoenix Suns. We already established we should sell Phoenix to China. They led LeBron James' team, and LeBron's 41 years old. Then they finally get some comp, CEO. You know what their comp is, CEO? A young and up-and-coming stars like Stephon Castle, Devin Vessel, and an up-and-coming superstar with Wembanyama and a rookie head coach, CEO. I mean, yes, this is technically his second year, but it's still his second year. And you lost with home court advantage and all the experience. CEO, this guy is a massive fraud without the free throw. CEO, you can't switch up, bro. You were just shitting on this guy just a week ago.
No, I was shitting on this guy a week ago, absolutely, but not. I wouldn't call them frauds because that's too heavy of a label. For example, this is like me calling the Knicks a fraud, right? Knicks are frauds because they beat up on they beat an Atlanta team that was pretty shitty. They beat the Sixers, who are fucking garbage. We all know Embiid and his history in the playoffs, and they beat up on Harden and Mitchell, who are known as Embiid lights, and Harden's one of the biggest chokers of all time. You could discredit them, but it wouldn't be safe to say that you understand the issue here.
Not like the same. It's not the same.
It is the same, man.
I'm explaining to you why, CEO. I'm explaining to you why. The Knicks are not frauds because we did our job, and not only. All right, I'll give it to you like this.
Did OKC though.
No. Oh, here's the difference. We destroyed those teams. If we were winning those, if we went 7 with Cleveland and went 7 with Philly and went 7 with the Hawks, I'll give you the best example. If what we did to the Hawks, you can call us frauds. We went 6 games with the fucking Hawks.
Yeah.
But what we did to Philly and Cleveland, we're not frauds. We destroyed them as we fucking should. We're the best team hands down. We can't control who we play. But we can control what happens. OKC?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to argue is that this is why it makes no. For example, if you go to the finals and you lose the finals, which could happen, right? Then people are, the narrative that's going to be out there. See, they didn't play no competition. The East was weak as fuck, and when they met up with Wemby and the best team in the West, they folded like a lawn chair. This team, they're just a bunch of fucking frauds and phonies, right? That would be the narrative. And so it's not like, that's why I don't like playing into that anymore, because at the same time, what the Knicks have done leading up to get to the finals has been very impressive. So if they do lose to the Spurs for whatever reason, then people they're going to shit on them and all that shit because their fan base is annoying. I get that. And that is true. Knicks fans are fucking annoying. But at the same time, you can't discount what they did to get up to that point. And that's why I don't want to play those like, oh, they're frauds and this and that and that. Now, I would agree with you if OKC didn't win the championship, but they won a championship. And that's the issue. I don't want to go as far as to call them a fraud. Now, they're not as good as we thought. It would be a more appropriate way to would frame OKC. Now, you also have to take into account if Wemby, we have to. This is why this series is so pivotal because it will help cement some of the narratives out there. For example, if Wemby beats the Knicks, this will cement a couple of narratives. First of all, it will cement the fact that Wemby is a force and he has the next, and he'll put the league probably if he doesn't get injured, and you know how Big's get injured. If he doesn't get injured or has any unforeseen circumstances, and he'll put the league on lock for 10 years. And then when you look back at this series, you'll be like, okay, OKC weren't frauds. It's just that Wemby is like, that's the LeBron, that's the Jordan, that's the guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we have to pump the brakes on this a little bit because we got to see what happens after the series. Now, if the Knicks beat, let's say, the Spurs in 5 or 6 or whatever the fuck you want to say, then you could be like, wait, hold up. Now the narrative changes. Now your OKC or frauds can maybe have a little bit more weight to it. But I just don't think currently right now it'd be way too premature to call them frauds.
So what you're saying is, all right, so I'm just ahead of the curve once again, CEO. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we're going to talk about Spurs and Knicks, but I'm going to say this. OKC, SGA are frauds. Because, okay, fine. See, I'll put it to you like this, right?
Yeah.
Let's just ignore last year when they won the championship. The year before that, CEO.
Yeah.
They beat the Pelicans 4-0. Okay, cool. You beat the Pelicans. You did your job. They lost with home court advantage. Number 1 seed, CEO, a Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving led team. CEO, you want to know who it was? Luka and Kyrie. Can you with Tim Hardaway and Derek Lively, and they got belt to ass, CEO, belt to ass. This team is vastly fraudulent. CEO, you can look at the numbers. You can look at this series when they're not getting foul calls. They don't look like the dominant. See, I'm gonna keep it real with you. They look like the Cavs. They look like the Raptors. They got blown out in their gym twice, CEO. Twice.
Yeah,
that is demeriting.
Yeah, but you have to understand, like, we can't. They made it to the Western Conference Finals again, okay? And they went up against Wembanyama, who, like I said, could be a complete force of nature. They took it to 7. They were missing Jalen Williams and AJ Mitchell. Two of their key ball handlers. They had to put Jared McCain, who's not a ball handler whatsoever, and they had to move him, and he did a fairly okay job, but they were missing their 2 ball handlers, and Jalen Williams is their second best player. And like, I'm not making excuses for them in that aspect, but I'm just saying, like, fraudulent is way too, like, do you want to say they're fraudulent if you want to compare them to like dynasties like the Golden State Warriors or the 90s Bulls? And then we can, then of course you could say they're fraudulent in that aspect. But are they fraudulent as competitors, as a legitimate force in NBA or the Western Conference Championship? I think you can't call them. You can't do that because we haven't had a back-to-back champion since 2016. I mean, and since the Golden State Warriors, since the last dynasty, we have not had back-to-back championships. So because there's been a decade-long drought, I can't call them frauds in that aspect because nobody else has really taken up the mantle since the Golden State Warriors. Now we'll see what Wemby's Spurs do, and if they become a force to be reckoned with, which a lot of people predict, then you can't really call them frauds in the aspect of they're not competitors because they won the 7 with one of the best, if not the best prospect, not the player, not player. We're not calling Wemby the best player, not remotely close yet, too early in his career. But one of the best prospects, if not the best prospect in basketball of all time.
CEO, right? You did bring up the injuries, but also the Spurs, Derek Harper missed some games. De'Aaron Fox missed that game 1, which the Spurs won. So, Spurs have, and also OKC has way better depth than the Spurs. So the Spurs losing those guys is way more damaging. And number 2, CEO, you lost to a rookie team. You lost to a rookie team.
they had them. Yeah, I know you. I know what you're saying, but I don't. We're discrediting by doing this. We're discrediting what the Spurs have been doing, and they have
No, I'm
been.
not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm
But listen,
discrediting OKC. That's what I'm
no,
discrediting.
no, but no, because in order, we have to give props to what the Spurs are doing. They're doing fantastic thing. They just dethroned the reigning NBA champions, and that's a fact. They're a young team, yes, but they just dethroned the reigning one of the deepest teams, one of the best teams in a while. When you look at all the statistics, they just dethroned those guys. So when we're talking about experience, like yes, they're a young and experienced team, but that shit has to be thrown out the window. And the reason we have to throw that shit out the window because they just dethroned the champions, point blank.
I get it.
And
I give the Spurs credit, CEO, but this isn't about the Spurs. CEO. Okay, I'll put it to you like this, right, CEO? Just a week ago, everybody was saying SGA won his back-to-back MVP. This team, the OKC, if you want to talk about on paper, they're the best team in the NBA, including against the Spurs, including against the Knicks. No question about it when they're healthy. Here's the problem, though, CEO.
yeah,
You are the best team in the West, and you just lost to a rookie team. Now, if Wemby wins this finals, then maybe it's justified. But you brought up a good point, CEO. We have not had a back-to-back champion since the Golden State days with 2017, 2018. So, with that being said, CEO, all the teams now, let's just ignore OKC. Just look at this, right?
yeah.
The Bucks were frauds. We can say that now. The Nuggets, we can say that. They're frauds. The Lakers, frauds. I'm trying to think. Golden State, frauds. I'm not going to call Boston frauds because you guys suffered an injury. We'll see what happens next year. But all those teams were frauds. They weren't the next dynasty. And CEO, you were on this podcast. Are the Bucks the next fucking dynasty? Are the Nuggets the next dynasty? Golden State? No, they weren't. I'm just putting OKC in that class.
Okay, listen. If we're talking about because the problem here is the definition, right? I think fraud is too much of a strong word to use when we're talking about like, if we're only comparing them to like the '90s Bulls and the Golden State dynasty and the Lakers dynasty, then yeah, I would say okay, yeah, that makes sense. But if we're talking in general basketball terms, like none, like the Nuggets are not frauds. The Bucks, you could probably make an argument because they haven't even gotten close to back to form. But the Nuggets have been competitive. Boston has been competitive at least. So
I didn't count you guys. You guys suffered an injury. I didn't count you guys.
Right. So no, but they're contending teams. Like you can't like dynasties are a very rare thing to happen in the NBA, and I think you can agree for the most part. Like we can't call these team frauds because that's such a high expectation. Now, if you want to call them in comparison to those dynasties, sure, that you can use that. But I don't think OKC is a fraud in that aspect. They will be competitors, strong competitors, as long as SGA stays healthy and Sam Presti's doing what he's doing. They'll be strong competitors, and maybe they'll be able to surprise some people throughout the course. But like I said, I don't believe that I think this is more of Wemby and the Spurs being a force, and Wemby's particularly is a freak show. The dude is practically unstoppable. And not only that, it's not what his talent isn't the problem here, because we've seen a lot of talented basketball players throughout history, and so his talent isn't exactly what I'm in awe about. It's more like the problem is I think that apart from being a freak show, like his intangibles are scary, right? And what I mean by that is that he has not only does he have freak show ability, but he also has that kind of like he wants to win so much that it kills him. And that's really where his success is going to come from, because we've seen a lot of talented players in the league. You could talk about, and by the way, although Wemby's great, like you could still make a valid basketball argument that KD is a better offensive player than Wemby is. You could still make a valid argument that there are offensive players in the league that are better than Wemby. And that is true. but at the same time, he has the intangibles that are elite. He has the Jordan intangibles, and what I mean by that is that fire, the drive to want to win it no matter what, and that's what makes Wemby dangerous. Is that those intangibles are what makes him dangerous, and in combination with those, with his skill set, that's where you get the Jordans, that's where you get the LeBrons, that's where you get those type of players, and if that's the case for Wemby, then I don't want to. Then that's more of a compliment to Wemby's projected excellence than it is, I think, on OKC being just a fraudulent trash team.
All right,
That's
so
my perspective on it.
you're looking at it from an after standpoint. I'm looking at it throughout the whole season. I picked the Spurs. I thought the Spurs were going to win on the main fact that, number one, I said it. Well, CEO, you said all the things I did say. I said it early in the season. Wemby's developing intangibly in front of our eyes. I said in my video he has Jordan, Kobe-esque type of things mentality wise.
Yeah.
But also, I said it, CEO, when the whistles were not blown, the OKC Thunder didn't look like the OKC Thunder of last year or even this year in the regular season. They look like a regular ass team. They look like a regular ass team. That's where I'm calling them fraudulent at. They're not the team that everybody thought they were, this unstoppable force. No, they can be stopped.
Yeah,
they can be stopped. And we saw it front hand.
No, absolutely. Yeah, they can be stopped. Don't get me wrong on that. Now, again, it would be, I can't call them frauds off the simple fact that they won the chip last year and they made the championship, the conference finals this year again. And that is to be respected and merited. And this isn't like, okay, they went to the championship one year, they won it all, and then next year they didn't even make the fucking playoffs. They didn't even make the plan. Like, that would be more indicative of them being, well, quote unquote, frauds. Now, they made it and they took an absolute freak like Wemby to 7 games. That's impressive on its own merit, and this is why I won't call them frauds. Now, I'm being objective here. Do I like SGA? No, right? I generally don't, but I'm looking at this from more of like a non-biased perspective. I'm just looking at basketball more analytically now, and I don't think that they're frauds in that showcase. Now, when you're comparing the outrageous and outlandish claims, because you have to understand something. Like, I've always viewed OKC as a good team, a team that could possibly, in their prime, win 2 championships maybe, and I never saw them as some kind of like the 90s Bulls. Now, if you listen to someone like Lil Nig, you'll get the false impression that this is the 90s
I'm talking
Bulls.
about the media. I'm talking about the media and people, and I'm not talking about Lil Nig. Lil Nig,
No.
we all know he's a fact.
No, yeah, but he gets his talking points from the media, right? Like, this is why, like, he'll get his talking points about why do you think he's so gassed up about them being unstoppable and this and that? Just because he listens to the media, he listens to these figures, and this is why I reference Lil Nicky. It's not like he comes up with these things on his own. He listens to them from other people, and I don't blame when it comes to OKC. It's easy to call them the next dynasty or something because they won the chip last year. They've been very impressive overall. They are a deep team. They are a very competent team overall. And the issue here is just they just came across what possibly could be one of the best players of all time. And that's, I think, the real story here. It's more of you're going against one of the most freakish players I think we've ever seen. And that's not an indictment on the Thunder. That's more of praise on the Spurs, because if they didn't exist, if Wemby didn't exist as the force, you know that OKC would be in the finals right now versus your Knicks.
And I would not be scared of them. CEO, I don't think. All right, so I'll put it to you like this, right? So if the Spurs lose to the Knicks, which is very possible, people are acting like the Knicks can't beat the Spurs, which is beyond.
No, well, to be fair, I think it's 50-50. I think a lot of people are saying that the Knicks are going to win, and then the Spurs are going to like, you have two sides of this scope. So I don't think it's very lopsided in that essence, because I've been keeping track of it. You have very delusional Knicks fans out there, and you have very delusional Spurs fans out there. Like, I don't think this series will be Knicks in 4, Spurs in 4, like nothing like that.
All right. So with that being said, CEO, because I don't want to get off this OKC point. Next year's CEO. Now, I said it. I want to get it out on record. I said it in my video. I'm going to say it now. They're in Denver lane for me. I don't think they even get past the second round next year. I feel like Wemby exposed. I'm going to keep it real with you, CEO. The next 5 to 10 years is going. Oh, I'll say the next 5 years. Or the next 3 to 5 years, it's going to be Spurs are coming out the West. But with that being said, CEO, I want to say this. I don't think OKC gets past the second round next year. I don't. I honestly feel like LeBron's leaving the Lakers, and that will make the Lakers better because it'll be a Luka-led show. And CEO, I understand Luka has his flaws. Every player has their flaws, even Wemby, SGA, the whole nine. But last time we saw a Luka-led team fully healthy, he went to the finals. Wherever LeBron goes, I feel like he's going back to the East, so it is what it is there. The Spurs are going to have experience, and they have OKC's number. Nuggets, we'll see what happens there. Timberwolves, I don't know if they trade Ant, but they're going to get upgraded from Julius Randle. The West will get better. With that being said, OKC exposed their hand. Everybody sees what they are. They're not getting past the second round next year. And CEO, this is just who they are. This is who they always been. They just matched up great. Matched up great with the competition from last year to this year. And at the same time, you just can't ignore what I saw with my eyes. I can't ignore it. Without the free throws, they didn't do shit. Hell, last year, CEO, they won 7 games with the Pacers. Now, the Pacers are a great team. Everybody in retrospect, they can see that. And if it wasn't for Halliburton going down, we might have a different conversation. Maybe not, maybe so, but they won it. It is what it is. But looking with all that, the one team that was able to match up with you, it was a young team. You lost to them in 7. Home court. That's more of a. The Spurs are great. They're exceeding expectations. And we're going to talk about Wemby and 07 LeBron, but they're exceeding expectations. But I expect the veteran team to always win. I'll give you the best example, right, CEO? Your Celtics and the Golden State Warriors a few years ago. You guys were the better team, and compared to Curry, Tatum and Brown are fucking young as shit. But who won at the end? It was the Warriors because they had the experience. Even though on paper, the Celtics were better. And I'm going to keep it real with you, CEO. I'm going to keep it all the way real with you. You know how I feel about Steve Kerr. I feel like Udoka is better than Steve Kerr. I feel like that full-heartedly. But they won off the experience of Clay, Curry, Draymond. I think he wasn't there yet. But they won off the experience of that. You guys couldn't win off the experience against the Spurs. See, if you watch that series, that the Spurs were doing rookie mistakes, and OKC couldn't capitalize.
I get what you're saying, but when you're comparing the Celtics and the Golden State series, you're talking about a team that previously won 4 championships. But that's not the same team, though. It was not. No, it's not. It's not the same team. But what you're talking about is, they had experience. Yes, but the experience that the Spurs had, the experience that the OKC Thunder have, does not equate to the experience that the Golden State Warriors have. And you're talking about arguably the best point guard to ever exist. And you're talking about him previously winning 4 titles. When you're talking about the Thunder, a lot of people forget. The Thunder are are still a very young team. Like the Thunder they won their chip last year, and as a very young team, kind of like the Spurs could possibly do this year, but they're off the heels of their first NBA championship, and they're a relatively young team. There's only like 1 or 2 30-year-olds on the squad. The rest of them are like 27 and under. And they're a very young team as well. And I think a lot of people discount that. Yeah, they won a chip. So people are like, okay, they're the very highly seasoned, experienced team. Because they won a chip, but not like, for example, OKC won a chip as a very young team. Are they more seasoned than let's say a playoff team, like someone like, I don't know, the Knicks or something, or someone that's been to the playoffs like a billion times? They just unfortunately haven't won it all. It's one of those things where it's kind of like, yeah, they won their first chip, but it's kind of like they're not a consider them like a super ridiculously experienced team. Like compared to someone who came off the heels of a dynasty, right? So
All right, I'll put it like this. Let's talk about OKC. Last year they beat Nikola Jokic, the more experienced team.
Right.
That's the same exact thing. And I will sit here and tell you, CEO, I'm not going to call Joker a fraud because Joker's one of the greatest skilled players we've ever seen.
He's not
he's not a fraud. No, I'm excluding the SGA fraud shit. But as a Nuggets team, they were frauds. And we could see it this year, CEO. They couldn't even get past the first round with an Anthony Edwards, DiVincenzo, and the other guy. I'm forgetting who else. They had 3 injuries to their starters, and they still lost, CEO.
Yeah.
Those are frauds.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, CEO. And also, CEO, I just want to wait. Do you have something to say before I throw out
the next? No, go ahead.
CEO, I'm going to keep it real with you, CEO. They have 2 picks in the first round this year. You know what's going to be, and I told this to Brandon last night when we were on the phone, and I'm going to tell it to you. When they trade for Giannis or Jaylen Brown, that's GG's in the chat, CEO. That's GG's in the chat.
Okay.
Because Jaylen Brown, listen, I understand Jalen Williams is injury prone. Adding a ball-hogging Micah Parsons, a.k.a. Jaylen Brown, to this OKC team bad idea. I'm going to keep it real with you, CEO. Chet Holmgren play like a bum. Even though he play like a bum, he's trash. For OKC specifically, CEO, I'd rather have a guy who's taller, better rebounder, and better shooter than have a Giannis clog the paint, especially with someone like SGA who likes to go in the paint and shoot mid-range shots. That will fuck up the whole chemistry. I truly believe that, CEO.
No, I think that they would benefit from Giannis. I think Brown would be a horrible idea. It would be a devastating idea. Now, again, the reason I think that is because the problem with Chet isn't a talent issue, right? Chet is talented, right? There's no argument about that. I mean, he's a talented player. The problem with Chet is that he's a docile, very okay. I don't want to call him like I'm not calling this him as a person. I'm talking about him as a basketball player. He's a bitch. All right. That's just a fact. And he's a very everything that Wemby is in terms of being an intangibles freak. This nigga is not. That's as simple as fact. He's the inversion of Wemby. And he's just as big as Wemby. I mean, probably like 2 inches shorter, but he's a big guy. He's not a dog, bro. That's the problem with him. He doesn't have that part of him. He's very talented. He's very physically gifted, but he doesn't have a dog mentality. I think Giannis, you bring in Giannis, the mentality shifts. You get more of a dog. You get more of a physical guy, more of a presence than someone. Because let's be honest, RJ, a lot of they just paid Chet. He's getting paid what, $50 million a year, somewhere around there, and that's just way too much money for somebody who's not even a great. He's a great help defender. He's a great help defender, but he's not even a great ISO defender. And on top of that, offensively, he's just not that. He's not great offensively because he's so timid as a player. And you don't get that with the Giannis. And I think they benefit from that. And not only that, the point that they're giving him a lot of money. They're giving him around like 30 something plus million a year. And if originally they were like, yeah, we have to move off iHeart because we already paid Chet this money, but you can't move off iHeart. He played way better than Chet, than Chet. And he played more aggressive and more physical, and he's not as gifted as Chet. And that's Chet's problem. So I think they benefit greatly from moving off of Chet. Now, don't bring in Brown. That'd be a horrible idea. Like, I'd rather maybe it'd be a better, like, you get more draft capital, see if you can draft somebody. I don't hate the Giannis thing. I think Giannis thing would be fine. But yeah, you can't. I think Chet. He's not a dog enough to go against this Spurs team, and you got to move off.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not. Chet's a bitch. He's always been a bitch. Fuck him.
Not as a person.
Oh yeah, as a person, he's a fag. Fuck him. Anyways, get rid of that stupid haircut, bitch. Anyways, listen. At the end of the day, so I'm not disagreeing with you. If you want to move off of Chet, okay, cool. We have to see who does what Chet can do. And I'm looking at it. Jaylen Brown, we both agree can't do what Chet does. That's and plus just the locker room issues and shit like that Jaylen Brown brings. No, we don't need that on. Well, I would love that for OKC, but no. But I'm looking at it. Giannis we're looking at the player versus the system. I don't see Giannis fitting that system. Giannis is go to the wing and drive to the cup. You can't have two guys who drive to the cup like that. And then also, he's going to be playing the 4. Ihart's playing the 5. You want to trust Giannis at the 3-point line? That's some of the value Chet does. I'm not saying he's a great 3-point shooter, but he's good. You have to respect him at the 3. That's why Wemby was playing him so close towards the 3-point line because he knows he can shoot that. Right. Giannis would not be able to do that.
No, I agree. I agree with you. You're talking about play style, and that's a perfectly legitimate argument. But what I'm referring to is, I think something that supersedes the play style is the fact that you need another enforcer. Giannis is an enforcer, right? He brings a mentality that team sorely needs, and Chet is a bitch. And that's the issue. You need a dog in there. Now, yes, would it be where are you going to give up leverage on certain aspects of the game? Absolutely, because again, Giannis is not a wing player. He's not like that, and you would have to make certain adjustments. But that's what the coaching staff is there to do. They're there to make certain adjustments. Not to mention that they have so many young players in the system that they can develop, and a lot of rotations that they can work with to kind of cover up for the fact that Giannis is not a 3-point shooter. But I think they would benefit greatly from a dude that's not a bitch, a guy who can enforce when Ihart's not out there. It could work. I think it could work, and they'd be better off than Chet. Chet needs, like, you can't teach dog mentality, and just Chet doesn't have that. And I think that his bitchiness supersedes his 3-point ability.
I get that. I understand that, but CEO, you're falling for it, CEO, right? You know what you're falling for, CEO? Mm-hmm. Remember when the AD was on the Lakers?
Yeah.
Right? And everybody used to blame AD. It's not AD's fault. Now, granted, AD injury prone, and he did go out like a bitch sometimes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, CEO, he's not the guy. He replicates who is the leader of that team. Who was the leader of that team? LeBron James. In those years, they lost to the Nuggets. When they missed the playoffs, it was LeBron being a bitch. Chet is going off of what he sees with SGA. SGA, it dictates. We can agree the coach, and then the star player are always the importance. You know why Scottie Pippen always balled? Is because Jordan always balled. Clay always balled because Curry was going off. Hell, CEO, Tatum goes off. Brown's going off because Tatum's most likely going off, or at least setting the tone of it. With that, CEO, I'm a Knicks fan. When Brunson's doing this thing, Cat's doing this thing. It's all about the leadership. Did Chet play well these last few games? Or did Chet play well throughout this series and this last game? No. But look what SGA's doing. He's going out like a bitch. If your one leader's going out like a bitch, when the general goes down, the army's going to go down. And CEO, even if you want to move off of Chet, that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and argue with that. But for Giannis, I understand Giannis might have that quote-unquote dog in him, which I'm debating because Miles Turner leaked some of the shit Giannis will see. I don't know if you know this. Miles Turner says Giannis shows up late to practice. He shows up late to airplane meetings and stuff, going to the stadium and stuff like that. That's lack of discipline right there, CEO. So let's not.
Well, I didn't know that.
Miles Turner, he had an interview with some bitch. I forgot. I could send it to you whenever. But with that being said, even if Giannis does have that dog in him, I don't know if the play style fits.
All right.
Now, the coach might be able to fix it, but I just don't know.
Listen, I get your argument about the whole, if SGA is a dog, then Chet would be a dog. I don't agree with that off the simple fact that Ihart played really tough in the series. Caruso played like a fucking dog this series. What's his name? Before not AJ Mitchell. Jared McCain played really, really dog-like in this series. So my thing is, like, you had a lot of players on the Spurs that did their fucking jobs and played like dogs. Okay, Jalen Williams also played like dogs when he was out there, and I'm just like, they play like dogs, so it's not like
Whoa, it's about
the whole
something.
team wasn't a fucking bitch. The other players weren't bitches.
CEO, you name Caruso a veteran. He doesn't need SGA to lead him up. Ihart's a veteran. He doesn't need SGA to clear him up. Jalen Williams, the one game he was going off in, SGA was going off in the game too. SGA was going off. I'll give him that. Jeremy McCain last night. I mean, yeah, he did hit a couple threes, but he kind of looked off. Jeremy McCain, he did have all the good games, all the good games Jeremy McCain had. SGA ironically was going off, and last night he didn't look the best. Game 6 CEO in San Antonio, he didn't look the best. Game 5 looked amazing. Look what SGA was doing. He was cooking. Game 2, he looked amazing. Look what SGA was doing. So I just want to say is that some of the guys you're mentioning, Alex Cruz was a champion. He's a veteran, so they don't really need SGA's, for him to go off. But
no, I get what you're saying, but everyone knows that this is SGA's team. So Caruso has always been a role player.
He's a vet.
He's a vet, but you can't make these contingencies where it's kind of like, well, this is clearly SGA's team, and therefore Chet is a bitch because SGA's not fulfilling his role as the leader, and that's why he's a bitch. And then there's various examples on the team of players who are not bitches, and then you're making contingencies off of the fact that, well, they're veterans, some of them are veterans, this and that. Other players that are not clearly playing, like Jalen Williams did not play like a bitch this series. Jeremy McCain did not play like a bitch this series. Now that doesn't mean that every night they performed great, but they didn't play scared, and they did. That's the most you can ask from them. And SGA. So if they're doing well, then why isn't I think this is more of an individual.
Time out. I'm looking at the stats right now, and I remember watching the game against the Spurs yesterday. He had 12 points and 3 turnovers. Alex Caruso I'm talking about. Then the game after in San Antonio, he had 7 points and 5 turnovers. So I'm not saying Caruso was bad, but let's not act like he was going on.
No, we're not talking about the play. We're talking about playing not scared. Chet played scared. We're not talking about the performance on the field. We're talking about the mentality he had. Chet was playing like a bitch. And this is what I was referring to, the fact that he did not want the ball. He passed that shit away. He did not want to defend. He did not want to, because he was fucking terrified. That's what we're referring to. Caruso, you could say he wasn't this great, or like even though there were a lot of times in this series that Caruso was practically the best player on the court. But the times that he wasn't playing scared. He was just not performing that particular night, but he wasn't afraid. Chet is afraid. Chet is a bitch. This is the problem. And I'm not saying I don't want to make Chet's being a bitch all blame SGA because he lacks the character to play ball. Like, that's my issue. I don't want to blame SGA for Chet's being a bitch. Like, I just think that's not the correct way to view it.
I'm not blaming SGA directly. I'm not. It's because at the end of the day, there's a grown-ass man. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I'm going to tell you something, CEO, right? And I'm not comparing these guys. I'm not. I'm just saying from this standpoint. Pau Gasol talks about it. Kobe Bryant, when he played, Pau Gasol plays he kind of plays like Chet a little bit, to be honest with you. But he always had Kobe to say, you fucking got this. Go do something. Your boy, CEO, Garnett, Rondo, Pierce, all these guys talk about. Garnett used to be a fucking dog. He used to elevate the team, whether on the play or even verbally. He used to curse dudes out.
Yeah.
SGA does do that. Now, is that SGA's fault? No, I'm not denying that. But CEO, even with that being said, even if you want to move off of Chet, I'm not opposed for them moving off of Chet. I don't think we can agree Jaylen Brown's not the right choice. But also, I don't think Giannis is the right choice either. I think just bringing Giannis in, it might look good on paper, but CEO, we've seen multiple times where, okay, it looks good on paper. Does it really fucking help? I'm just keeping it real with you, CEO. I'm just keeping it all the way real with you.
Now, when it comes to the argument, yeah, I agree. Listen, I have no problem if they move off of Chet. My particular issue is that when you compare them to Kobe, listen, SGA is not Kobe, and SGA is not.
See, I'll give you another example. Kyle Lowry with the Raptors, he was the vocal guy,
right,
helping everybody. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. Now, I just want to point something out. When there are different leadership styles, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have like the Kobe's and you have the, I guess, the Jordans or whatever the fuck. And then you have people that are not vocal in that aspect. Now, it doesn't make
by
them
example.
lead by example. I think SGA falls in that category. I think Lamar Jackson falls in that category. I think Kawhi Leonard falls in that category, like you just pointed out. I think that there are a lot of players that fall within that category. I don't think that makes them like flawed. I just think that they don't want to. They're not the type of player that gets in the faces of other players and be like, "Hey, yo, nigga, you better do this shit." Like, that's not like kind of like running your team like a mafia, right? That's not what they do. Now, if you could say that that's that's a fault or that's a defect of those players. I think it's a different leadership style. Some players are not cool just getting in the face of their teammates. They don't want to do that. So I don't really take points off of that for that particular reason. And you could make an argument that to a certain degree that what's his name that Steph is in that kind of leadership style, right?
Steph gets in your face. I'll say that.
Yeah, but not to the degree that you would put on like a Kobe or somebody like that. I think that he's that's why I said to a certain degree.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna fault him for that. I think Chet is just a bitch, and I think that's on Chet more than anybody else.
And CEO, you did say SGA leads by example. I agree with that, but when the example is what SGA did last night in game 6, the example's going off to the whole team. Especially, let me also make this correlation, CEO.
Mm-hmm.
Chet, SGA, Jalen Williams, they all came in together. So they all have a very close bond.
Yeah.
I'm not saying SGA doesn't have a close bond with Ihart, Caruso, and all these other, and Jeremy McCain. I'm not saying he doesn't. But when you're drafted, and CEO, we see it all the time with Wade and fucking Melo and Bosh. They're fucking connected. When you come in with certain people in a certain draft, you're always going to have that connection. And when you're in a lead by an example type of guy, especially like, I'll give you an example, Kawhi Leonard. And I'm excluding Paul. Well, we all know Paul George, what he does. But when he's not playing well, the Clippers don't play well. Then when he does play well, I mean, see, we saw it. The Clippers almost made the playoffs this year. Made the playoffs this year. And when SGA is not out there balling, that's going to set an example for all the guys that have a close connection with him, especially someone's who are drafted with him. But even with that, CEO, I'm not opposed for them to trade SGA. I'm talking about from a logical standpoint. I want them to trade for Giannis and Jaylen Brown because that would ruin the whole fucking thing. But
well, I mean, I think you meant Chet. You said Chet, SGA.
Oh, my bad. Trade them fucking both. They both suck. But anyways, I'm not opposed to them trading Chet. I don't think Giannis would fit the play style. And I'm going to keep real with you, CEO. What I heard from Miles Turner and some of the things Giannis does decision-wise, like having your fucking brothers on the team, I'm not saying he would do that in OKC. We can tell this guy, he doesn't have a good business mind. He doesn't have a good business mind. And he doesn't have a work ethic.
Well, now, listen, I wasn't privy to the fact that, like, I didn't hear any of these things. And of course, now if Giannis is a compromised character, then I would agree with you. Then it's not a good fit, right? I'm claiming this on the assumption that this is like I'm not up to date on Giannis's drama, right?
I'll look for it right now, so no one thinks I'm talking my ass.
No, I don't think you're talking out of your ass. I believe you.
Well, I mean, no, I'm not saying you. I'm talking about just in context.
Right? No, I believe you. If you like, I didn't know these things. Like, if I'm assuming that Giannis's character is good, right? Obviously. Now, if it's not what I thought it was, then yeah, I agree with you. Maybe it would be a bad choice. And if he's coming in with the mentality like, okay, like I'm lazy or whatever the fuck, then I agree with you. Then no, then don't bring him in.
All right, so I just found the video right now. I don't know who this bitch is. Maybe you could preview me. Tell me who this bitch is. I'm gonna share the video right now. Right now. Gotta turn the volume on. All right. Let me know if you can hear this.
All right.
It depends on the coach. So Doc Rivers, he didn't find anybody.
We get fined for all types of
You can hear it, right?
Yeah, I can hear it.
All right.
stuff now. You guys get fined a lot?
It depends on the coach. So Doc Rivers, he didn't find anybody. Guys were late all the time. Guys were, showing up to film whenever they wanted to show up. Guys were missing meetings. Like, it was one of the craziest things I personally ever experienced. We literally, if the plane took off at 2:00, we weren't leaving until 4:30. I'm being so serious, bro. It was crazy, dog. Guys were an hour late to the plane. It got to the point where I knew not to show up until like an hour after they said the plane was taking off. It was crazy.
So who's the teammate that's most likely to be late? Well, all of yours, obviously, because nobody gets fined.
Giannis is going to show up whenever he wants, really. I think that it's kind of just came with the territory at that. And once I kind of saw what was going down, I was like, hey, man, more power to you. They ain't going to find you. Do what you do.
Right.
Except when we're going to Dallas. That's when I was like, all right, come on.
Right now, we're getting fined for...
So, boom, right there, CEO. Right there. The team leader. And you heard it from Miles Turner. You heard it from his first... It wasn't CEO. He was the only name and the first name that came out with quickness.
Well,
you didn't bring that to OKC.
I'm assuming he's not lying because he doesn't look like he's lying to me, right?
I mean, hold on, CEO. He's on the Bucks. This is before the whole Giannis thing went down. He's on the Bucks. You're low key taking a shot at the franchise player. Don't you think he will lie or be like, oh, I don't want to? CEO, we see it all the time. I don't want to name anybody. He's just certain players. Like he said them just like that. Just saying.
No. I'm assuming he's not lying off of the simple fact that he looks like he's telling the truth to me, at least. Now, listen, you could say that Giannis became complacent after he won a championship, right? Like he thought that was enough, and he thought that now that he won a championship, that now all of a sudden he's royalty, right? And the organization did treat him like royalty after they won the championship, right? He got everything he wanted. He got the money he wanted. He got a lot of say-so in the organization. And if he's going to bring that attitude to OKC, then I would agree with you. Then no, don't bring him in. If he's going to bring in that type of attitude, or to think that complacency is good enough, or whatever the fuck, because it's not.
Now, your argument is now, granny, Giannis might be smart enough to know that he can't do that at OKC because he has no leverage in OKC. You brought Milwaukee a championship. You won a couple MVPs with Milwaukee. You made them relevant for a while.
Yeah.
So you can do that, and not going to deny that. He might be smart enough to be like, okay, I need to be on my P's and Q's. This is a chance for me to get multiple championships, put my legacy up there in the greatest players, highest players, power forwards ever. I get that. But the only thing that's concerning to me, once again, and just logically, is the play style. Is that the 3-point shooting's a thing? SGA, his whole thing's mid-range game. You have Giannis, who's, you have two ball. I'm just going to sit here and say this, CEO. I don't care what the positions say. SGA is more of a ball-dominant guy. He's just a shooting guard playing point guard. I feel like Caruso's a better facilitator than him. With that being said, you have two ball-dominant guys on the same team. I don't know if that could work. I'm just keeping it real with you, especially when they both work in the paint.
Now, listen, I think that I heard SGA talking after, and he said that he trusts whatever Sam Presti decides to do. He's the best GM or something like that, or whatever. And I think that's SGA's kind of attitude and kind of personality. I don't think he's the type to. I don't think he's the Giannis. So it's kind of like you have to do what I do, right? Now, the thing is here, you could still make the argument that, well, Chet, you won a championship with Chet. Chet is only 24, right? So it's not like he's super old or anything, right? Now, Chet's only 24. You could make the argument that he'll learn from this experience and we could try one more time with him. You could legitimately make that argument. And maybe that's what Sam Presti will do. Maybe they'll teach him to stop being a bitch, right? Not even to be like like Wemby or no, just stop playing scared. You'll learn from this. Whatever the fuck. Maybe that's the right option. Maybe that's the option Sam Presti's going to take. I feel like all this trade Chet thing is mostly coming from the fans that are upset that they lost, and mainly because Chet was a non-factor in the series.
Well, I mean, see, we did hear that they could trade for Giannis before the season started and during the trade. I'll say that.
I'll see what Sam Presti decides to do. He could just do something completely out of left field that nobody even thought of. That's always a possibility too. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, I think OKC will be decent competitors going forward. I don't think that they are completely going to be shot as competitors. I'm not saying they're going to win the championship again, but I think they'll be at least making the playoffs consistently for at least the next 5 years. I think that's a fair assessment. You there? Well, I can't hear you. Are you there? This nigga just leave?
Oh, you can hear me, right? Hold on. You can hear me, right?
Now
I
I
was
hear you.
talking the whole time. Hold on. All right, it was just my thing. But I mean, yeah, we'll see what happens with CEO, the main event.
All right.
Knicks and Spurs.
Right.
Wednesday. Who do you got winning the series?
Let me make this abundantly clear. I want Wemby to win this series hands down. Fuck the Knicks.
You just hate the CEO. You know
fuck the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? Fuck RJ. Fuck. Nah, I wouldn't say fuck New York because my Yankees, right? So I'm not gonna say that. But I'm gonna be honest, because a lot of people, what I get, and I know I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about a lot of people. Like, there's two things. Because a lot of people don't understand this. Who I think will win and who I want to win are two different things.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't get that. Like, there's a lot of people out there who's like, oh, but you picked this team to win, so you thought, stay over there. And I'm just like, bro, no. There's two. I want the Wemby to win so bad, it's not even funny.
Why? He doesn't deserve to win.
But I got Knicks in 6 or 7, right?
Really?
And the reason I'll say this is because I wouldn't be surprised if the Spurs win, but I got Knicks. You know why? I'll say this. First of all, I think that I'm not doing the whole experience thing or whatever the fuck, because I think both teams don't have any experience with the finals. You could say that.
Yeah, agreed.
Now, I'm looking at the way first of all, I think that the Knicks matchup's a lot better than a lot of people give them credit for a couple of reasons, right? You can't just, because a lot of people, and I see a lot of Spurs fans, because a lot of Spurs fans are talking shit to Knicks fans, a lot of them, and they're talking about this midget ass Brunson can't do shit. This nigga 6 feet 5'11". He never getting close to the rim or whatever the fuck and this and that. But I'm just like, well, yeah, but here's the problem with all that. Maybe Brunson will get blocked a lot. That's a possibility. But it's what's more likely to happen? He's probably just going to kick it out. And, Cat's a good 3-point shooter. Mm-hmm. The Knicks guy, the Knicks are the most efficient 3-point shooting team in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. What worked with OKC is not necessarily going to work with the Knicks, because they can just kick it out. And by the way, a lot of people are like, well, you have to live and die by Josh Hart hitting threes. Josh Hart's a pretty good player. I'm not saying he's all world or anything, but I think if he gets a lot of good looks, I think he could probably make them. And the issue here is not only that, I think they match up better. The Knicks are not afraid of the Spurs. They're not afraid. There is no Wemby now. There is no Wemby equivalent on the Knicks, where Wemby clearly was afraid of. I mean, Chet was clearly afraid of Wemby, right? There's no Chet equivalent on the Knicks. I don't think anyone's afraid of Wemby.
Nope.
Now you can make the argument that Cat's a bitch. We have done that for multiple years, but I don't think that Cat will get the Wemby assignment. I think that will be you have a lot of players out there that can get the Wemby assignment that I think will do, that are more ferocious, and I don't think they're afraid. That's the main reason. I think that the OKC underlying were kind of afraid of the alien, of this and that, and I don't see the Knicks being afraid of them. I just don't. Now that doesn't mean that they'll win definitively, but I'll say that helps a lot. Having a non-Chet, I think the whole team believes in themselves. They're not afraid is a big factor into this. Not to mention that I think the Knicks are playing comfortably in one of the most hostile environments in sports, and that's New York, right? Madison Square Garden's a bitch to play in. Their fans are annoying as fuck. And I think that I'm not saying that'll affect Wemby, but it could affect other players that are not Wemby.
And speaking of someone who's like, you know what, CEO, who's not like Chet? Little Nick. Oh man, the man of the hour, Little Nick. And CEO, I want to introduce something to us.
All
We
right.
have a fag alert on the fucking case. Little Nick. CEO, this is the man of the hour. He said OKC in 6. He said he was gonna beat up on my Knicks. Lil Nick, I have a question for you, bro. Let me know if you're still in here. Lil Nick, I have a question for you, bro. Go ahead, CEO. Anything you want to say to Lil Nick, CEO?
You know what? Lil Nick, by the way, because I know you had to build up the courage to come on stream. Because he was building up the courage. He was like, yeah, I don't want to come in, but at the same time, if I don't show up, they'll call me a bitch for life. Listen. You missed me basically defending your team for like the better part of an hour. So you fucked up on that. And on top of that, I'll let RJ do all the roasting. You know what? At least you showed up. But go ahead, RJ. You can take it away.
Lil Nick, you still in the comments, bro? I have a question for you, bro. Lil Nick, you still here, bro?
Yeah, he's still here.
See, well, I have to see. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to ask this question if he's not here.
Yeah, he's right there.
I don't care, RJ. Even though I hate both teams, Spurs beating ya in 5. Let's be real. Bullshit, Lil Nick. Bullshit. Listen, Lil Nick. I know you're upset. And by the way, Lil Nick, OKC's never getting past the second round. You fucked up. Your dynasty will never happen. You'll never win a championship. SGA is a fraud. Your whole team's a fraud. Go bandwagon to somebody else. Fuck this OKC. You can't flop your way to a championship ever again. Ever again. Little nigga, I already said this to CEO. I'm going to say this to you. My boy in New York named Jalen Brunson is averaging 26 points in the playoffs. Meanwhile, your boy's averaging 28. You take away the free throws from both of them. Brunson's averaging 21 to your SGA aura, playoff SGA, which I didn't see him throughout this whole series, is averaging 18 fucking points. Fuck the OKC Thunder. But, Lil Nick, I got one question for you, bro. Are you guys playing in the finals? Is your team playing in the finals, Lil Nick? No, they're not, and they never fucking will. OKC is a fucking poverty-ass team. My Knicks will win 3 championships. We won in 72, 73, and 2026 is on the fucking way. It's on the fucking way. And what we do to the Spurs, y'all couldn't do to the fucking Spurs. So miss me with that. Who won last year? I don't know who won last year. I don't know. I know who's going to win this year, nigga. Hey, Little Nick, how's that Curry comparison, you bum? Yeah, you dare compare this nigga to Curry? Are you out your fucking mind? Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm going to keep it real with you, bro. Oh, CEO, you're not going to like this, bro. You're not going to like this. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Lil Nick's fucking KD. Get him the fuck up out of here. You in that KD territory for me. No intangibles. 0. Zilch. Bum. Get him the fuck up out of here, bro.
You call Lil Nick KD?
No, I'm calling SGA Lil Nick. I mean, I'm calling SGA fucking KD. Read my comment, nigga.
Oh, yeah. I disagree with that, though. But I disagree.
Prove it next year, CEO. I ran into a Knicks fan at the store, and I told him, let's go Spurs in front of him. Najee, you know what, Najee? Shout out to you, Najee. I don't know if you know this, CEO. I went live after we were confirmed to go to the finals. Najee hopped on stream. You know what I'm saying? So, Najee, you're a bitch, but at the same time, you're less of a bitch than Lil Nick. Lil Nick's gonna sit there with this corny ass fucking. Look at that shit. Look at that shit right here, CEO. Look at that. Look at this fag. Look at him.
Oh, man.
What's up, Brandon? You know, the Unfiltered Sports Podcast chief head of security and CEO. He's official. He's officially an MMA fighter. He passed his test yesterday. You know what I'm saying? He's going to the military, CEO. You know what I'm saying, CEO? We have a official chief head of security and the NBA expert who picked San Antonio, who's been spot on throughout this whole playoff, CEO. Just letting you know. So funny how y'all blame SGA for the loss while Lou Dort was playing like a terrorist and treads a pussy. No, I shit on them too. But who's
By
the
the way,
leader?
that was I'm the only one that mentioned Ludor being trash. By the way, so
I mean, Lou Dort. I mean, come on, bro. Lou Dort. I mean, come on.
yeah, I mean he underperformed tremendously. And by the way, Lil Nate, like I said, you should have showed up earlier because I was actually. I wouldn't say I was defending it. I think I was objectively observing what was happening. But you said Thunder back-to-back champions. Now listen. Lil Nigga, I'll give you props for showing up. All right. At least that's some real nigga shit. All right. Even
Real
though
nigga
you don't know ball, that's some real nigga shit. So
Yeah, you watch all this film, nigga. You didn't. I mean, Lil Nick, you were scared of the Spurs. When the Spurs beat Timberwolves, you said you were scared. I understand why. And I just want to let y'all know, every time y'all run into the Spurs, y'all about to get cooked. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm just letting y'all know that. Lou Dort's always been trash. What's the difference now? Oh, yeah, I said it, Brandon. SGA's averaging 18 points per game without free throws this playoffs, by the way, CEO.
yeah. Well, listen, like I said, I don't particularly like the way SGA plays ball when he tries to flop. I think it looks horribly aesthetically horrible, but I don't hate SGA and I don't hate the Thunder. I made that abundantly clear. That's why I'm probably the most objective person analyzing this shit. Just to let y'all know,
you're not you're looking at analytics and CEO. I'm gonna tell you, next year when they get bounced in the second round, and the year after that, we're gonna get bounced. They're gonna get bounced in the second round. You understand what I'm saying? He's in that Joker territory, CEO.
Which, by the way, he's still highly impressive. I don't know why that's such a bad thing. Like, by the way, RJ, assuming, because we'll go back to our predictions, but assuming that like the Knicks win it, right? You're probably going to get put in that category too.
I'm fine. I can admit that.
No, but that's not a bad thing though. That's what I'm saying. It's not a bad thing at all. There's no I don't know why people are acting like being Joker or Giannis. Well, I like Joker more than Giannis, but like are such a bad thing. It's not. It's just being a dynasty so fucking hard. Like people need to understand that. Now, going back to our predictions, I had the Knicks in 6 or 7. I already explained that the reason that is because 1, they're not afraid. 2, their home court is very advantageous, and not only that, Knicks fans travel well. And let's just and God, this is no disrespect. The economy is garbage. This is no disrespect, but Knicks fans tend to have a lot more money. And Spurs fans can't afford Madison Square Garden, so that's just a fact. And that's not no shade at them, but that's just a fact. And not to mention that, the thing that caught me that a lot of people are not surprised is the way both teams celebrated. Right, both teams celebrated winning, rightfully so. You know, they earned it, but like the way Wemby was celebrating, it's like he won the fucking finals.
Yeah.
And the dude was crying, and the dude was like, "Oh yes," and like I could have sworn he won the finals the way he was celebrating, and the way the Knicks celebrated when they celebrated, but they didn't. It was more like we won, we're happy about it, but on to next business, right? On to
job's not done.
Job's not done. What the Spurs celebrated like they won the finals. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and not because I was mad that they celebrated. I was just like, you're acting like this is it. This is not it, motherfucker. Like you have another.
According to Lil Nate, they're gonna beat us in 5.
No, I think it could be. I think he could go to 6 or 7, but I think the Knicks match up better, and I think they're more serious about it. And we'll see. But again, this doesn't mean that I think that the Spurs can't win. They can, of course, win. But yeah, that's my prediction. What's yours?
All right. Ready, CEO?
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to point this out because you did bring up something. I want to say this, right? You said it's more. You said Knicks fans travel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what Lil Nick said? This finals might be worse than the Heat and BS Denver, bro. Lil Nick, we can officially say he doesn't know anything about. He's comparing us to the Miami Heat, the 8th seed Miami Heat team.
Yeah, I mean, the comparison, and I just want to. Who? By the way, who's that comment Brandon's pointing to?
I didn't even see Brandon comment. What? Bruh, now bro's riding. Now bro's riding us. I think he's coming to you, CEO.
All right. So what do you want me to be? A non-objective and just say the Spurs are going to destroy you in 4? Is that what you want to hear? Like, get the fuck. This is why you're not the boss. All right, because you're too stupid.
All right.
Like, I'm being objective here, and I'm trying to, I'm being. Well, you prefer me to be you prefer me to be like Lil Nig? Is that what you want me to do? Like, get the fuck out of here.
No one should be like Lil Nig. The East is so trash. It's a pretty fair. Lil Nig, we don't take you. Lil Nig, I hope you're here in the next couple weeks because we're gonna. Lil Nig, let me ask you a question. Serious question. If I go live, would you hop on? Because I would love to roast you live. Defeat whatever. CEO, you said Knicks fans would travel. The most get in prices at the NBA Finals, CEO. And this is updated. This came out 4 hours ago, CEO. Game 1 and 2 was at San Antonio. They cost $1,149 and $1,310. Game 3, CEO, in Madison Square Garden, costs $4,000.
All right.
CEO, you can literally attend both games in San Antonio, have a flight and hotel for less of the price at Game 3 in MSG, CEO.
Yeah.
This are 2 home games for the Knicks, CEO. Now, here's my hot take, and here's my realistic take. Knicks in 6, but CEO, I'm here to tell all you guys, Knicks could sweep the Spurs.
I would disagree with that.
The Knicks can sweep the Spurs. You know why? Mm-hmm. You know why?
Okay.
The Spurs are a very turnover team. Who's the best fast break / getting points off the turnover? The New York Knicks. The Knicks are a very good 3-point team. Also, the Knicks are the best road team in the playoffs.
Yeah, okay. No, they're getting at least one. I know you're saying they could, not that they will. Now, to make that distinction, but listen. And by the way,
CEO, if the Knicks win Game 1, it's GG. Letting you know, and it's possible we can get Game 1. It's very possible.
All right. Yeah, and I just want to point out, Brandon is particularly the reason why people hate Knicks fans. Like, this is exactly the reason why.
I don't see it. Shout out to Brandon. He ain't doing nothing wrong.
Yeah, Brandon, you're a bug, all right, in every sense of the word. You're a pest. You're annoying as shit, all right? I flick you off of my desk. Go fuck off.
Listen, hold on. Everybody thought Hold on. Now, I understand. The Spurs are way better than the Cavs and Philly put together. I understand that. You guys are not looking at the chemistry and what's going on. CEO said it. I'm mad that he said it before me. The Spurs think this is going to be a cakewalk. The Knicks are hungry. You saw what's been happening to us, especially last year, CEO.
Mm-hmm.
You honestly think we're going to go in there into San Antonio and not at least get one, we can end this in 5-2. But do not be shocked if this ends in 4. Don't be shocked.
I would be shocked. Now, like I said, I'm trying to be as objective as possible. And I'm trying to look at all the factors. A lot of people think that the Spurs are going to absolutely, in 5, they're just going to crush them. They got the better player. Wemby's dominant. He's the alien. They're physical. They're not afraid of no Knicks. They're not afraid of New York. They have the better 5. Like, a lot of people think this. I think that's a foolish way to perceive it. I think it's going to be a very competitive series. Hopefully it is. I think for people that are not Knicks or Spurs fans, we want a long, good, enjoyable series. I know you guys don't. You guys want to win 4, right? But I think for normal NBA fans that their teams are not in it, I think it's going to be a competitive series, and hopefully it is.
Listen, he said it's not fool, it's just the truth. No, it's not. Lil Nick, you said your OKC was going back to back. You lost all basketball credibility. So miss me with that. But listen, Knicks fans just ignoring it. bro. To sit here and ignore Lil Nick, you do realize we have good depth in the fucking place. You do realize, okay, let's take away the experience. Coach for coach, Mike Brown is a finals experience head coach. He's won championships as an assistant with Golden State. He went to okay, people want to say he went to a finals with LeBron. So what? He went to a finals with Jalen Brunson. Is Jalen Brunson anywhere near prime LeBron? Absolutely not.
No.
He turned his team around just like that, CEO. Destroying the competition as he fucking should. And we just beat this team in the in-season tournament, fuckers. We're 3-1 against them in the fucking regular season. Why is everybody ignoring that shit?
Now, I wouldn't put much weight into that. I wouldn't. Off of the simple fact that, first of all, Wemby played as much minutes as Luke Cornett in those games. And listen, even though I have the Knicks winning, unfortunately, I want the Spurs to win, but unfortunately, I have them winning. I wouldn't put too much stock into that. But again, just like the Spurs are, I think, a much better team, I think the Knicks are also a much better team than what we saw in the in-season tournament. So, I wouldn't put much weight into that. But anybody that says that this will end in 4, Matt, listen, I don't know. We'll see, but I don't believe so.
Listen, I don't put that much weight into it too, but the reason why I'm putting weight into it, and it's not because it's Knicks, it's because people are acting like we can't beat this. We beat the Spurs with a healthy Wemby. I understand the shit he had minutes restriction. We beat a healthy Spurs team. These OKC fuckers couldn't even do that. De'Aaron Fox was out, and they still couldn't beat him. We did.
Well, to be fair, they also had players that were injured, so it kind of evened out. And I also want to point out, Loading, the main factor you're going to lose is because Cat versus Wemby. I don't think Wemby will beat it. I don't think Wemby is going to be on Cat, though. I don't think that's going to be the sign.
Mitchell Robinson is going to be on Cat. Mitchell Robinson's 7'1" and has way more weight mass than fucking Wemby. Just saying. And
by the way, Lil Nick's in a tough position because I think most OKC fans want the Knicks. Most OKC fans want the Knicks to win, right?
Yeah, Lil Nick, you're being a retard, bro. You should want us to win.
No, he's in a bad position because he hates you, and so he hates the Knicks because of that.
Well, he's gonna hate me all summer because when these Jalen Brunson is better than fucking SGA videos pop out, I know he's gonna be fucking tight. I know he's gonna be tight.
Because let me tell you, the Spurs team, if you should hate anybody in this finals, it should be the Spurs because they disrespected your team so many times. It's not even funny. So, you should hate.
Y'all all gonna hate us. You know why? It's because CEO said it on the head, and I saw it last night too. The Spurs think it's over. That's where the demise comes in. People have to realize this is a game played by humans. The Knicks are hungry. The Spurs, they're not hungry yet. When they lose this finals, it's gonna be GG's for the league. Just saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be. Yeah, of course we would be. Again, I hate both these teams, but I'm being realistic. What team is going to win? I mean, listen, the consensus, I think the consensus is the Spurs, right?
Yeah.
But again, I think that's and again, listen, I'm not like Wemby is such a force. You never know with him, but it's kind of one of those things where it's kind of like, I think they shot their load. The way they celebrated, and you have to look at this from the perspective of like this. The Spurs could lose the finals and they still had a good series. They still had a very good season.
Amazing season.
They're young. They can dominate for the next 10 years. They don't really, there's no losing for them. I mean, if we're being honest. Now, if the Knicks lose, everyone's going to clown them. They're going to be ridiculed till no end. They're going to be like, you were nothing but frauds. Get the fuck out of here. Back to not winning shit since the 80s. Go fuck yourself. That's going to be the real. That's going to be the real.
That's the chip on our shoulder. And guess what, CEO? Even if the Spurs lose, it's a win because now it's going to make them hungry to win it all.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think their real finals was beating OKC. That was their real finals, and that will come back to haunt them. I think it could because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Wemby will be saying, you know what, this is not the end. We're gonna beat the shit out. We're gonna be as rough. But I don't think they're gonna bring that same energy that they brought with OKC. I don't.
And also, they hate OKC. Justifiably so. They hate OKC. They don't got no beef with us. I mean, is Wemby still upset about the fucking in-season turn? I don't think he gives a fuck. Hell, he barely even played that game. But listen, at the end of the day, Knicks in 6. Don't be shocked if we ended in 4 and 5. Lil Nick's not gonna appear. If we win, Lil Nick's not gonna appear. So
Shit, I might not appear either. But
you know what I'm saying? The CEO, you're gonna have to sit there and eat crow and watch me, Brandon YTC, run a train all over you. You feel me?
Okay, yeah, pause. And by the way, first of all, you gotta understand something. All right, listen. As a Celtics fan, you know what I'm saying, in our storied history, this is not offending. All right, just know that. First of all, we got our ring before Wemby has emerged, which I'm happy about. And not only that, by the way, was this what you felt when we won the finals? Or went to the finals? Because
absolutely,
yeah, this is not a good feeling. I'll just say that this is not a good feeling. But hopefully you will lose, and I'll listen. Yo, Wemby, if you get these clowns out of here, bro, man, I will defend you till the cows come home, motherfucker. I'm telling you that.
The cows ain't coming home, bro. They're coming to New York to party with us after we win in 6. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be so beautiful, CEO. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. All the years of trolling, all you fags, and I can't wait to put Brunson above Jordan because Jordan never won a championship with MSG. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, bro.
Brunson above Jordan? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Absolutely, 100%. You know what I'm saying, bro? I mean,
Wemby, bro, get these niggas the fuck up out of here, bro. I need
He's
you
gonna be crying again. You know what I'm saying, bro? Y'all in for a ride. Y'all scared. Y'all are scared because y'all were talking all shit all season. Knicks ain't doing nothing. Knicks ain't. This is your history. Choke.
Yeah. Oh, Wemby, please. Listen, I will go if you get these clowns the fuck up out of here. I will learn French, motherfucker. I will go to France, live stream from Paris, eat a baguette, and learn French. I'm dead ass serious.
Najee, Little Nig, CEO, they're all on the ropes now, bro. They're running.
But we got the best boxer of all time. We got Wembyama, all right? This nigga about to fucking. I'm telling you, bro, we're all about to speak French up in this bitch. Listen, all right, yo, Najee, I want you all. When Wemby gets these fuckers out of here, bro, I want you to just light up the chat and bring just fucking French, bro. All right, you already know.
You know Shannon Sharp, right?
Yeah,
yeah. CEO, San Antonio, Juliet and Romeo, Marco and Polio, Knicks in 6. Bing bong, pussies.
Listen, listen. I'm telling you, when Wemby gets you bitches up out of here, bro. Yeah, I'm telling you, bro. We first of all, I can't wait to squash that dumbass bing bong. I hate that shit so much, bro. I hate that disgusting. I don't even know what that means. What the fuck does that even mean? Fuck their sayings. All right, yo, Wemby, you know what to do, bro. You're a Frenchman, bro. Even though French are kind of pussy though, but still, listen, you are black, all right? Kind of. He'll get it done. You're 7'4". You'll get it done.
Listen, y'all are scared, and just enjoy the next couple of weeks, because not next week, the week after, it's wraps for y'all. It's wraps for all y'all.
Oh, wait, when's the final? Isn't it this Wednesday?
Wednesday, Friday, 2 days off, and then that Monday.
All right, listen. I'm telling you, bro, Wemby, bro, you're our only hope because these Knicks fans, bro, they're
coming to Virginia to get you. We're going to OKC to get Lil Nig. We're going to Boston to get Najee. We're coming for all y'all, bro. And we're going to publicly execute all of you in Madison Square Garden.
Listen, Wemby, if you get this, because I'm telling you right now, if Wemby wins, bro, it's a wraps, bro. I'm cooking. I'm doing a live cook session of Brandon live on air for all you to watch.
Nigga, you don't have to worry about that, nigga. I'm gonna cook the Knicks, nigga. Fuck with
yeah,
I'm gonna be fucking worse.
Listen, bro. If y'all win, I have no choice but to eat shit, bro. I have no fucking choice.
And matter of fact, CEO, we're speaking of MSG. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you saw the rumors, but there's going to be a certain somebody who might be sitting courtside at these Knicks games. I'm not talking about Spike Lee, CEO. I'm not talking about Fat Joe, CEO. I'm talking about the President of the United States of America, CEO, Donald Trump. Now, it's not confirmed yet.
All right.
Donald Trump I'm assuming he's a Knicks fan because he grew up in New York. He went to, I don't know if he's a Knicks fan or not, but I know he went to the finals back in 99. CEO, your thoughts?
All right. Before you get into, you want to get into this? Do you want to talk about the officiating first, so we're done with the gameplay?
Oh yeah. Well, CEO.
Okay.
You got to say about OKC not flopping away to a championship?
They fought their way into the first championship. Let's just call it what it is. But I will say this: a lot of people were complaining about the refs this series with the OKC versus Spurs, right? Like complaining refs. I don't think it was bad, and here's why. I think it was fair, right? I think you had days where the Spurs were given an advantage, and you had days where the OKC Thunder were given more of the calls. It was balanced, right? And I think that was intentionally done by the league. And you know what the funny thing is, RJ? When the league tries to balance out the officiating, they get shit on.
Yep.
If they don't balance out the officiating, they get shit on. Is there any winning? I mean, can the league do anything, or people are just going to bitch regardless? Because
people are it's just like in life.
Because RJ, if you're being objective about this, I thought the series was fine, officiated fine. They both of them got the Tony brothers helped out. Tony brothers helped out the OKC, and I think Scott Foster helped out the Spurs. It was balanced, and in the last game, it was pretty even with the different officiating. It was done fine. I don't see a complaint. I saw Spurs fans complaining. I saw OKC fans complaining. When both of you are complaining, that means they're doing a good job.
I think it's just mainly Spurs and OKC fans bitching. So,
because I thought the officiating was fine.
Well, CEO, what did I tell you? Adam Silver will listen.
All right.
You know, I told you he's the best. He's the best commissioner in sports. He listened, and hey, got your wish.
You know what? He tried. Apparently, a lot of these fans are ungrateful either way. So, I don't know what else you can do.
Now we're going from one Jew to another Jew, CEO.
All right.
From maybe attending MSG. Your thoughts?
This is horrible. Now, I mean that from like, bro, let the Knicks have. If the Knicks are gonna win, right? Let them have it. Don't attach your disgustingness to the organization, right? Now, obviously, you can't just. I mean, they could. The Knicks could tell them not to come, right? And they'd be well within their right. But at the same time, I mean, you can't just it would be, I guess, distasteful to tell the sitting U.S. president that he can't attend the game. Now, it would be a host of security issues and all things like that. But listen, if I'm a Knicks fan, keep that nigga away from the team. That nigga's a curse, all right? Everything that nigga touches disintegrates into either irrelevancy or bankruptcy, all right? Pick whichever you want. And by the way, if I'm a Knicks fan, bro, I don't want that attention on my team right now, all right? Let it be about the Knicks. Stop bringing you don't if Trump's the Knicks fan, bro, you have the best seat in the house. You're literally in the White House, motherfucker. You probably have the best technology or whatever. You can watch the game however the fuck you please. Don't show up to the game and fuck it up for the rest of the people because the media is gonna make it a circus. People are gonna if the Knicks for some reason lose a game or something, they're gonna call it the Trump effect. Stay away, nigga. That's my thoughts on that.
First of all, I'm going to talk about it from a Donald Trump perspective. I wouldn't go to the game just off of just GP, to be honest with you. But from a Knicks fan perspective, I have no problem with this. I don't care. I've always said this from the start. First of all, we're not losing because Donald Trump is there.
No, I'm not saying that.
I don't think Jalen Brunson or Cat give a fuck. All these guys are fucking millionaires, so they're probably fucking Trump supporters anyway. That's number one. Number two, I have no problem with this. Like I said, whether everybody knows my stance on Trump and the whole politics thing, from Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal. Everybody knows it. With that being said, I've always said this. I don't mind when presidents or political figures go to games because it's not about them. It's about the Knicks or about whatever fucking team, game, whatever. With that being said, that's not, it will be a story, yes. I don't think he'll sit courtside. I think he'll have a skybox, so we'll barely see him, kind of like how he was in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. So there's no way he's sitting courtside. No way, no. But with that being said, I don't mind it. He's not a distraction. He's just a paying, quote unquote, paying customer. I don't have a problem with it. It is what it is.
Like I said, if I'm a Knicks fan, I wouldn't want that dude representing.
Knicks fans, bro. We see yo. 1973. You think we give a fuck about it? Adolf Hitler can fucking be. Ain't nobody gonna give a fuck, bro.
No, I'm just. I mean, listen, I disagree. I disagree with that point. But
you disagree, but you're wrong. You're wrong, bro.
No, I'm not saying that Knicks fans in general. Well, I think a lot of them. Well, it depends on how it works out because they'll look for excuses everywhere they can find them. So. Listen, I know you're on the camp of I don't give a shit about anything in life. That's a you problem, but continue. We'll move on to the next topic.
So you're wrong about this. Is what it is. I'm glad you're starting to see like everything I was telling you years ago. You're starting to finally fucking believe. Maybe I'm not conspiracy theorist after all. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of that CEO, whoa, time out CEO. Speaking of that. Is this version of Wembanyama better than 07 LeBron James?
I think you could make it's a close argument. It's a close argument. Is this version of Wemby?
Both went to the finals technically in their third year. Inexperienced, both had tremendous runs in the finals.
Let me see. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, it is a good it is because the case for LeBron is that the case for LeBron is that LeBron was the guy. I mean, who was the second best player on that team? I couldn't even pronounce his name. It was like Zangunis or some shit like that. I mean, the dude who there's that. I think that when you're talking about highlights, I think that he takes it. LeBron's but at the same time, it's like Wemby's defense was better. I think that Wemby's path was a lot more difficult than I think LeBron's was. So you can argue that it kind of balances out. So it's hard, but I think it's an argument. Like you could definitely make an argument. I think it's hard, but you could definitely make an argument.
I'll say this, right? I'll say this. It is the thing LeBron has on his cap is that he had a worse team than Wemby, which is a fact. But he had Eric Snow. He had that center nigga. You know what I'm talking about, the Vala shoes, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He had trying to remember. I think he had veterans on his team who they weren't good, but they were good role players. Meanwhile, Wemby, on the other hand, carried a team that's very inexperienced. But with that being said, I think Wemby is the best. I think he's better at both of them. It's close, but I think he's better at both of them. I do think Wemby will get a game off of us. That's why I said Knicks in 6. But at the same time, I mean, it is what it is, CEO. You know what I'm saying? Knicks in 6. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, CEO, it's going to happen. You might as well just hop on the bandwagon, CEO. You made the wrong decision.
I will never hop on no.
Your Celtics ain't doing shit either. I don't know what the fuck y'all doing. I'm going to keep with you, CEO. If I'm Jason Tatum, I want to demand a trade. Fuck Jaylen Brown, bro.
No, listen, at the end of the day, regardless of what happens, we'll still have more championships in you. That's all that matters. All right?
The CEO, who's going to be the champion now? Who's going to have the title around their waist now?
Wemby. All right? Wemby.
If you want to talk about 2027, 2028, 2030, sure. but not 2026, nigga.
Yo, I can't wait because if Wemby can squash y'all niggas, you know what? That's over for y'all. Y'all never win this shit ever again. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I don't know why you want that, nigga. I mean, shit, he gonna squash y'all too when he see y'all.
Yeah, but at least we got our fucking title before that nigga came on the scene. Shit.
And we will too. We're gonna see, we're gonna be the most hated team in NBA history. You know why? It's because we're gonna start the era of Wemby. Wemby's gonna lose. He's gonna, I never want to lose like that again. And then he's gonna destroy the West. He's gonna destroy Little Knicks, OKC Thunder. He's gonna destroy who's ever coming out the East. And you guys, and Wemby's he's gonna be 8-1, 7-1 in the finals, but that one's always gonna be to my Knicks, and we'll always have that. All right. We're going to be, and I hate. Well, this is back when the NFL was great. We're going to be the Eli Manning to Wemby's Tom Brady. It's going to be amazing. Can Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown say the same, CEO? I don't think so, bro.
We need Wemby to win so we can, get this disgusting, undeserving fan base the fuck up out of here. All right.
No, we are deserving. The shit we went through, we're deserving of this.
And I mean, yeah, y'all did go through some bad shit. I'll say that, but yeah, y'all did go through some foul shit, especially. I remember, like, especially like from 2010 to like the 2020s, bro. That shit was bad.
I'm trying to look for it. All right, we'll see, yo. Speaking of that,
all right,
the anti-tanking rule that Adam Silver put out.
All right,
to you right now. There's a 71% chance that the NBA's number one pick falls to the 6th place or the 12th place team. Only a 29% chance of it falling to the to a bottom top 5 team per Shams. So basically saying, just because you're the worst team in the NBA, you only get, CEO, a 29% chance of getting the first overall pick, which is very low from the 44%.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that. Only because, like, I know it's anti-tanking and all that shit, but it's like, I don't really think the draft system is that broken, to be honest with you. Like, I don't think it needs like some super reform, because people are like, oh, I don't like tanking and all that shit, but it's like you wouldn't, if it wasn't for tanking, you wouldn't have gotten the Spurs. Just saying that, the modern day Spurs. If it wasn't for tanking, you wouldn't have gotten a lot of these other teams that are up and coming, because a lot of these bad teams have no other option, because no free agent wants to go to a bad team. No player that gets traded wants to go to a bad team. It's one of those things where it's kind of like you're in a tough position, and if you try to win, you're probably still going to lose, even when you try to win, because you suck that bad. And your only recourse is getting a top pick so you can get a player that you can legitimately build around. And now you're kind of getting put in a position where your chances are worse at getting a good player. And even if you try and you still lose, now you're in a cycle where no one wants to come, no one wants to get traded to you. And now you really don't have a great chance of getting a top prospect. I don't think it's a good idea.
Well, CEO, here are the actual rules. NBA passes new anti-tanking rules. The 3-2-1 draft lottery system. Teams 4 to 10 equals 3 lottery balls. Bottom 3 teams equals 2 lottery balls. Playing teams equal 1 to 2 lottery balls. 16 teams in the lottery with flattened odds. Previous 14. Teams cannot pick number 1 in consecutive years. No top 5 picks in 3 consecutive years, CEO. And the Grizzlies were the only team to vote against this anti-taking rule.
I don't like it.
I'm going to say this, right?
Yeah.
I'll say this. Everybody knows I'm Team Dynasty. We need to have dynasties in sports. That's a fact. Yo, Lil Nick said, I don't care what Juice Silver thinks. Tanking is not an issue.
Yeah, I agree with you, Lil. That's a good point right there.
Yeah, he called him Juice Silver. Yeah, Lil Nick, you know what? I'll stop shit on you for the next 10 minutes. You got that one. But how how can I put this?
All right.
I get this is a PR move. Well, hold on. So we got someone new in here. Shout out to Alex. This is the first time I'm seeing him. If the Spurs win, where will Wemby's ring rank all time, assuming he wins in a historic fashion in MVP Finals?
Bro, if he beats the Knicks, bro, all time number one. Shit.
Hey, listen, that's never gonna happen.
Like putting the Knicks back in their fucking place, bro. That's gonna be a top tier ring right there. That's gonna be beautiful. That I'll get tears in my eyes seeing that ring.
When you wake up and it's game 4, the Spurs are down 3-0 in Madison Square Garden. You'll know, like, damn, that was a good dream. But CEO, going back to the anti-tanking thing, this is a PR move because we know. Okay, well, the Kings, for example, will they get a top 1 pick? Will they get the number 1 overall pick back-to-back years? No, but they'll probably get 4 or 5. And I'm just gonna keep real with you, CEO. Yeah. Even though this has been like this for years, and I've been saying sports has been entertainment for years, obviously facts like CEO are starting to realize that. We all know for a fact, whatever team Silver wants the star players are coming from college or international to go to, he's going to want them to go to. That's just a fact. That changes nothing about what's going on. So if he wants Wemby to go to fucking San Antonio, he's going to go to San Antonio. Even with this is just a PR move to make the league seem like, hey, we're not, because there are a lot of fans who hate tanking. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of like Giants fans-esque fans out there who want to win every game, even though their team is dog shit. No. So he's just doing this as a PR move.
They shouldn't even complain. Like, shouldn't even try to please those people because it's like, oh, like sports. No, you're delusional. You don't know how shit works. And on top of that, like, it's not a problem. Tanking is not a problem. It's just not a fucking problem. And this idea that it is a problem is from cornballs that think that the only things like we gotta win no matter, like, this is some kind of Disney movie, motherfucker. This ain't no Disney movie. Like there are teams out there. You think that most of the teams try to stink? And no, they try to win, but they can't because the talent is shit. Like, fuck out of here.
I will say this with the gambling aspect in this is that if a team is intentionally tanking and someone bets on that team, and there's retards out there who will do that, it could be a massive lawsuit. So I think he's trying to prevent that as well, too.
Here's a great solution to that. Stop with the gambling in sports. How about that?
Well, I mean, see, you talk about realistic. How realistic is that?
Not with the tiny hat Silver up there. I'll say that much.
Adam Silver literally said 10 years ago, that he loves gambling. So that's not going anywhere.
Oh,
which is ironic because his team, everybody complains about gambling in his sport. It's the hardest sport to gamble
in. Yeah, it's just gambling. I hate this gambling culture in the U.S., bro. It's disgusting. Makes me sick. All this fucking gambling everywhere, bro. It's like, let's gamble on like fucking everything, bro. You gamble on what
shoes Jalen Brunson's gonna wear.
Where like the gamble on whether gamble on war, gamble on fucking death, gamble on whether, like, it's just disgusting. The gambling culture, the Kalshi ads, the fucking prize pick ads, the fucking like, get this shit, like, this just get this degenerate shit the fuck up off my screen. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of people shilling. Betting culture is disgusting. All right, period.
Bro, why is Drewski and Sketch and Sarah Safari on DraftKings? Do you know who any of those guys are? Or those people are?
I know Drewski. I don't know the other.
Sketch is the autistic Texans fan that shows up at draft day. White guy with glasses.
Is he the gay guy?
Yeah, the gay guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know who he is. The gay.
And then Sarah Safari, she's a YouTube influencer. She does like workout stream stuff. She's actually very attractive. I'll say that. But bro, they have those guys at like Drewski. What the fuck does Drewski know about sports? He has one. The only thing I know about, he has a meme of him playing football with his glasses on. If you know what I'm talking about.
No, yeah. Here's the thing with that. It's kind of like all these gambling fucking sites and all these, like they'll just get popular people that a lot of young children and a lot of young adults are watching. People like Drewski. I don't watch none of these people because I'm a grown ass nigga. But Drewski and whatever you mentioned, those people.
Yeah.
You know, people that are not within my generation, but the next generation. You know, they target those people. So all because a lot of their fans watch it. A lot of their fans are Lil Nig's age, or a lot of those fans are 17, you know, 16, and then they'll be interested in possibly gambling in the future, or you know, trying to get, you know, selling the false promise of betting and making money, because I can guarantee you most of these guys like Drewski don't bet. They'll just take the bag from the betting gambling sites to be a sponsor with it, and you know, he'll get his millions of dollars for pushing Kalshi or Prize Picks or whatever the fuck. And you know, all these niggas that only make $5 go out betting for random shit. It's a dumb thing to do. Like, we've been taught, or at least I've been taught since a young age, like gambling has always been a tax on the poor. That's always what it's been. The lottery has been a tax on the poor. So is gambling. And I'm not talking about gambling within your friends, you know, funny gambling or nothing like that. I'm talking about legitimately spending thousands of dollars gambling, you know, treating it like a legit career or something, just endlessly gambling, getting a high off again. It's a degenerate thing. It bankrupts a lot of people. It's not a good for our culture or our people, and you know, they still do it, and it's gross, and I will never support it.
Speaking of that, CEO, first of all, what's up, Evan? How you doing, bro? What the fuck, Najee? What are you doing, bro?
Do, and it goes the way you want. Oh, man, bro.
What song is this?
Just the way you are. Do. Hey, yo, Najee, can you stop being a weirdo for one day, bro? Like, goddamn.
We got a fag alert on the horizon. Najee, you just earned that title.
Oh, so is this like a new thing?
The what song?
The Kalshi song. Now, wait, the betting sites now have songs.
I didn't even know Kalshi was a betting site.
Bro, if I was president, I'd ban this shit, bro. I'm letting y'all know that. Like, fuck this shit.
I'm never gonna ban it because fucking that makes you know how much money the U.S. gets from fucking gambling. Like, come on,
man, fuck. Listen, I'll do a fucking executive order or something. Get this shit out of my face.
Listen, I really don't care at this point. I mean, gambling, it is like it is with it. If you want to fucking gamble, then fucking gamble. I mean, granted, I make bets with my friends, but that's totally different.
Like, people gambled all the time since the history. Like, I'm talking about the active promotion,
the draft, the fan.
Like, you know, I'm talking about betting has always been a thing since the time of, like, Jesus, bro.
Whoa, it's about there's a difference between betting and gambling. Two different things.
No, right, but
betting's fine. Betting's fine. Gambling, that's what we're talking about.
And by the way, even when we had casinos back in the day, so this isn't anything new, right? Even before our time. The problem is the acceptance, because back then people gambled all the time. They went to casinos, they went to this, they went to Las Vegas. It was always a thing, but it was always treated as this is not a good thing. It was on par with smoking, like cigarettes and nicotine. Like, you can do it, but you know this is bad, and our culture did not promote it. It allowed you to do it. You could smoke cigarettes and get nicotine and die of lung cancer and all these shit. You could do that. You have the ability to do that, but it wasn't actively pushed or promoted. Now it's an active campaign to normalize this shit, and it's an active stain on our culture, and it just makes our youth retarded and poor. That's my problem with it.
I mean, you don't have to fucking do that. I mean, shit, the youth is fucking retarded and poor. Just look at our fucking chat. So doesn't matter. Doesn't matter there, CEO. There's something I was gonna say. There's something I was gonna say. But listen, at the end of the day, bro, I mean, I don't care per se, because I don't fucking gamble. I make bets with my friends or whatnot, because that's just a friendly, hey, you know, whatever. It's not affecting the game. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's different. And the only reason I ever bet with people is for, like, not for financial gain. It's for humiliation. Let's just call it what it is. Like if I bet, like, oh, we bet $100. I'm like, bitch, yeah, give me my $100. Like but it's not because of financial gain. Like who gives a fuck about $100? Like it's not for financial gain.
Also, it's not affecting the game. Adam Silver's like, oh no, I have to make sure CEO wins, and all this.
Right? Yeah. So
we're not reporting to Vegas.
I mean, I don't like it. I think it'll have negative effects, but I am a guy that values freedom over everything. So go ahead, do what you want, but I'll advise against it for as long as I live. So shit.
Speaking of that, CEO, Brandon's not in the chat. Bro, CEO, I have to sit here and say, CEO, like when you see somebody get beaten down so badly,
okay,
like you kind of feel bad for them.
Yeah,
I felt like that a couple days ago.
Okay,
even though they just won, but the Mets are so fucking bad. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, I will never feel sorry for the Mets. Fuck them.
Like, bro, CEO, this is how bad they are, right? They're second to last in the division. They're 26-33. They just beat the Marlins, who are fucking 26-34. So, with that being said, I'm watching the Marlins and Mets game. The Mets damn near almost blew a 6-1 lead at home to the fucking Marlins. And I'm watching this game. They went 10 innings to the Marlins.
Yeah, that's tough. That's actually rough as fuck. Hey, yo, where you hiding, bro? I agree with you 100%, bro.
Where you hiding? Where you hiding, bro? Listen, bro.
100%.
You should be rooting for the Knicks, nigga. You're an East Coast guy. All that loyal to the soil BS. You should not be rooting for that bitch ass San Antonio team. All right, trust and believe that.
Although I do not like Texas.
Well, why don't you like Texas?
I mean, too much rattlesnakes and shit like that.
I thought rattlesnakes was Arizona.
No, there's a ton of snakes in Texas. But
I didn't know
that. Plus I don't like all the Texas is like one of those places where it's like Florida. It's like a cesspit of everything. It's like you'll find everything in Texas. You'll find
I thought it was conservative. I thought it was down south conservative down there.
No, yeah, it is conservative, but it's like you'll have your liberal cities like Houston, like Austin, which was fucking horrible, by the way.
I know all the big cities like Dallas and Austin are fucking liberal.
So you'll have mini New Yorks in kind of like mini New York cities in Texas. So you'll find the Ku Klux Klan member, and then you'll find like the trans activist, and then you'll find like the fucking Wall Street banker. Like it's fucking like it's a cesspool, and then you'll find like the Mexican like it's a cesspool of shit.
It's right there by the border, so it doesn't shock me.
Yeah, it's like I'm good, bro.
Wait, isn't Mac Ultra? Yeah, Mac Ultra is a Spurs fan. Why? I'm surprised we haven't seen Mac Ultra.
Yeah, I like Mac.
Hey, listen, Mac, you're the only. Overall, I don't have a problem with the Spurs. I actually kind of like the Spurs, to be honest with you. I like their organization. Speaking of that, the KKK's in Tennessee, CEO. I know they're not in Memphis. I'll say that.
I mean, listen, the KKK is irrelevant. They can go fuck off. And by the way, I mean, do they even exist anymore, bro? I don't even know. Like,
there's still some sundown states out there.
And by the way, like, who's really in the KKK? A bunch of I don't give a shit. Like,
bro, listen, if you're a black guy that lives in a sundown, like, go to Memphis, bro. So the KKK ain't going there. I promise you that. I promise you that, bro.
Like, I mean,
isn't that one fag from Tennessee locked up, or Chud the Builder, or Bud the Builder?
Yeah, I love that nigga's locked up. That shit is hilarious. And by the way, like the whole Chud the Builder thing, right? Like, first of all, I hate that nigga. All right, I don't like him at all. Harassing like black people on the streets, and he knows where to do it at. He doesn't do it in the hood. He does it. He's harassing like normal black people that will never do shit to him ever, which is why he's not dead, by the way. So he's not going to the hood or playing with real niggas. And the thing with Chud the Builder is, even though I agree with two things, right? With the sentiment about the Chud the Builder thing, is if somebody comes up to me or and says like, "Oh, stop chimping out, nigger," or whatever the fuck, right? Or whatever the fuck. I'm not gonna attack them. I'm just walk away and think that the person's like mentally ill. So I'm be like, okay, this person's like something's wrong with this person. Let me get the fuck away from this person. Like that's my mentality on people like that. But like I'm glad he's locked up personally because and by the way, he's gay. He's a faggot. So fuck him.
Yeah, Chud the Builder. Oh, time out. Y'all niggas old CEO. You believe everything I say, but you don't believe there's certain people out there who are MK Ultra assets who are just psyops to distract people. Like you don't believe that shit. This guy was in fucking Butterflies. Come on, man.
No, like I'm not saying he's not like. Did you get that from like Dr. Umar or something? Because I could have swore Dr. Umar said that shit.
Said what?
That Chud the Builder's like an MK Ultra acid or something.
No, nigga. First of all, I was talking about MK Ultra before Doctor. I've never heard Dr. Umar talk about MK Ultra.
Yeah, I saw it. Like I didn't watch. Like I just saw it when I was scrolling through something where I heard him say that. But like, I don't know. Like first of all, what would be the point of that, right? Like, what the CIA wants to start a race war? Like the fuck?
Yeah, it's called distraction, CEO. That's what it's called.
Distraction of what? Of Trump's pedophilia? Is that what we're talking about? Is that the distraction?
Well, that's a distraction within itself, but no, it's a distraction what they do just to certain things. I'll give you an example, right, CEO? Just in New York State alone, it's 35,000 missing kids. 35,000 missing kids. No one's talking about it. You will not see it on the news ever. Well, I mean, let's take away Chud the Builder. I'm saying from a distraction standpoint. We're talking about the Epstein files, right? But no one in New York, none of these fags on fucking Cuomo, you asshole. None of you guys are talking about, not you, I'm talking about the media. It's talking about, hey, there's 35,000 missing kids. All from schools, by the way, too. They all go missing around these school buses and schools and shit.
Right.
No, let's worry about some shit that happened 10 plus years ago.
Yeah, I mean that could be related to like the whole child trafficking ring that our government is.
So I guess in Tennessee they're doing some law about taking away black people's things, and I don't know.
No. So basically, you know, because a lot of people might hear me and might think I'm a liberal, right? So I'm not a liberal for anyone that actually. I'm a constitutional conservative. But I'm not a cuck-servative. I don't worship Donald Trump, which is the difference. And in Tennessee, what they did was the conservative party decided to the Republicans, and plus I'm super mad at the Republicans because they just got rid of my favorite congressman, Thomas Massey. But they basically took away the power of the black voting district and basically gerrymandered it so that the black district in Tennessee and Memphis, Tennessee, which is the funny thing, don't have power. Like they can't vote anymore. Basically Jim Crow shit. And listen, I'm gonna be bluntly honest. I'm not a sensitive person. I don't give a shit about Chud the Builder. If Chud the Builder came up to me and called me a fucking, I don't know, spick, nigger, or whatever the fuck, right? I don't really give a shit about that. But RJ, I'm really interested to know what your perspective. Like, first of all, what would you do if he called you a spick nigger or something like that in public? How would you handle that?
I would punch him in his face. Don't come. I'm a very don't not for what he says. I'm just don't touch. Do not touch me. Like I don't want to be. You know what I'm saying?
Like, this is my reaction. I walk away because I think he's mentally ill, right? The thing is, take away because I don't give a shit about if somebody some random person on the street calls me a spick. I don't give a shit about that. I don't know who the fuck you are. Stay away from me.
Yeah.
As long as you don't touch me, we haven't call me whatever the fuck. I'm gonna move on. I'm not dealing with you. Now,
no, bro, do not come in my personal space.
No, I don't blame you for that. I'm just saying I would handle it like that. Now,
there was some crackhead. There was some crackhead, fucking in Stewart's the other fucking. I don't know if you guys know what Stewart's is. It's a New York store.
Yeah. Okay.
I was grabbing something. I guess he was just. Even the lady told me he was off his meds, and he got upset because I wasn't using hand sanitizer when I walked in, and I was listening to music. And he's like, "Hey, sir, you gotta use the hand sanitizer." I literally pushed him down to the ground. I said, "Don't you get back up, I'm punching you around your thing, and they had to break us up. And he said, yeah, he's off his meds. So I'm assuming he's one of those people that go in there regularly. Like, don't get in my personal space, bro. I don't like that shit.
But not only that, it's like it sparked a whole conversation about like, well, do you have a right to hit somebody if they call you some type of word or something like that, right? And this is how I viewed it, right? I was like saying, well, it depends on the person, because I'm very unaffected to words. Like I only care about action. So you could call me whatever the fuck. I'm not going to engage with you on the street. But the thing here is, because a lot of racists or a lot of like white supremacists, avowedly white supremacists, are calling this a free speech issue. And I'm like, it's not. Yeah, you have free speech against the government, but here's the problem. Like if you're a white person and you're with your wife or your kid or whatever the fuck, and then some random black person calls your wife not like oh, she's a slut, or your kid is ugly and this, and start like, those are just words. He's not attacking you or anything. I like the likelihood of that white person beating the shit out of that black person is there's a very high likelihood of that happening. So like words, like you can't just come up talking crazy to people. You know what I'm saying? Like you have no protection against, like if you're with your sister, right, RJ?
Mm-hmm.
And some dude doesn't touch you or nothing and calls her all types of names and slurs and shit, what are you most likely going to do, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do something about it. I will say this, though, CEO.
Yeah.
This is the counterpoint about this. And, you know, he was talking about a little, Whitlock, he was kind of talking about it. I don't care per se. I don't care what Chud the Builder is. He's a fucking fag. I don't care what he says. He did make a point. Now, you are right. There'll probably be a white person who will probably do something to defend his wife. But black people are way more controlled by words, especially what white people say. They're more emotional to what white people say than white people are to black people. I will say that. So
no, there is an element to that. I completely agree with that. The only thing is, are black people super sensitive to the N-word? Yes, I would say so. Is there grounds to be super sensitive on that? Personally, I wouldn't. Like I said, I don't give a shit about that. Like I'm more of like an action person, but like I understand why some black people take offense to it. Because again, if you and I always liken to, because it's just a word. But at the end of the day, so is calling your mom a slut. So is calling your sister whatever type of slurs or names. So those are just words too. And the likelihood of random men crashing out on somebody that calls their mom random words, insulting words, or their sister, that's like an 8 out of 10 proposition that you're gonna get your ass kicked. And like, those are just words too. So although the black community is very sensitive about that word, I feel like so is a lot of other communities sensitive about, like, if you call their mom a certain word. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say this. If you go up to a random white guy and you say, hey, your mom's a slut, and she's with him, I'll say 55%, maybe 45% chance he'll do it. He'll do something about it. If you go up to a black guy, especially a black male, and say, hey, your mom's a slut, and we know who runs the black community, CEO.
Okay.
There's a 95% chance you're going to get your ass whooped. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain, like, the only reason now.
I want to stay here and say this. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a Republican. They're fucking gay. I'm just speaking of reality. No,
yeah, obviously. I mean, we all know the black community is more prone to violence. Now, personally, I think that's more of, because you got to understand something. Like, I'm trying to view this from a perspective where a lot of black households don't, like, I view this from a perspective of lack of education. There are less fathers in the household. There are a host of poverty stricken. Like, those are the reasons I think a lot of black people are more violent, because of those socioeconomic issues.
And which is not their fault. It's not their fault it happened. I'll say that.
No, but most people, and I'm not saying that white people in general, like some black people believe it, some white people believe it, but they think that blacks are genetically prone to violence. Like, no matter what what their socioeconomic issue is that blacks are just genetically more violent than their white counterparts, and I disagree with that. So, by the yeah, you know what? Here's my rule in life in general: stick to yourself, don't get in other people's business in public, and stay in your lane, and you'll be all right. All right. Stop fucking with people. Don't go around cloud chasing, which other builders doing it. And assuming he's not an asset, all right, RJ?
Okay.
Assuming he's not an asset. This dude's a fucking loser. This dude is a flaming homosexual. He got his, I'm not sure if you heard the story here, but he literally got like, apparently he got his butt trampled by like a 13-foot plastic dildo by some black tranny. Like, it was like, the dude is clearly a homosexual. So like,
go wide to see.
The dude's he's a loser, bro. He has a kid, right? He has a child.
Someone procreated with him?
Yeah, he actually has a kid. He has a child, and the wife is so embarrassed with this guy that she's changing the name of their child and keeping the child away from him because he's such an embarrassment. The dude's a fucking loser. So
let's not act like, I mean, you married the guy, so
I mean, yeah, she's at fault too. Don't get me wrong, but like the kid's not at fault here. Like, I feel bad.
Yeah, I'm talking about the wife, not the kid.
But yeah, listen, guys, and I'm being serious. Don't do stupid shit in public. If you hate black people, that's your right, but keep that shit to yourself. All right, don't go around screaming in the air or don't do that. Like, that's just stupid. Don't do that.
Also, Trud the Builder, I heard that his dad was in the military, so that's really reason why I think he's an asset, because everybody knows the military is associated with deep MK Ultra. See, you should read about MK Ultra, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And you're really connected to some of these public figures here.
So Evan says, CO, why do people feel the need to get in people's business and exploit others? Well, for a variety of reasons. One, they're losers, right?
Yep.
Two, they have nothing in life. So, like, this dude got famous because look what he did to get famous. All he did was point a camera, call a bunch of black people slurs, call the children, because he called children, because there was a black woman with their children, and he called her children nigglets. Like, that's how he got famous. I'd rather be the most unfamous person in the world than get famous off of shit like that. So that's embarrassing. It's dishonorable. You got to understand, a lot of people are fucking losers. That's why.
Yeah, like, I agree.
Every come up is not a good come up, and a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah, it is what it is, but I mean, that's enough attention for this asshole. That's enough for this podcast, CEOs. CEOs, is there anything you want to say to the pod before my Knicks set off to beat the Spurs in Game 1?
Listen, when we come back, the Spurs will be up 2-0 in the series. All right. Good. And Wemby will get his ring. Wemby will, you know what? We're all going to speak French and get baguettes and be in solidarity with Wemby against this horrific, disgusting Knicks team.
All right. Well, speaking of that, bing bong. See you guys next Sunday. Peace.